Hi, friends. Thank you for joining us again on this beginning of our Thanksgiving week. We've enjoyed spending some time with you during November and appreciate your questions and your comments and your help for each other in support of what everyone's going through. We're so optimistic right now about what we hear around vaccines and the performance that everyone's experiencing right now and parents returning. We started our series early in November with questions around financial performance. And then we moved to questions around staffing issues. So you guys heard me say that early on. I thought, well, at least we won't have staffing issues, and did not call that one well. So those continue. And then last week we talked about enrollment issues and took your questions there. So really interesting month. Today we want to answer some questions and point you guys towards some resources on grants and ancillary money sources. So we started COVID with most people falling back on PPP funds to keep them going for a while, and that was terrific. We all really were helped greatly by the PPP funds that came out in the fall, and everyone was hoping for another stimulus package, and we're still hoping maybe that's still coming. We'll keep you guys posted on what we hear. There certainly are people in Washington fighting for you and trying to be sure that happens for you. And then we all started to look more toward grants, and grants became available on the state level and the county level and the city level. So what we want to do today is talk in a little more detail about grant funding and where you can go and how to navigate where money might be. And so once again, I'm drawing on my expert resource in Kathe Petchel, who will be joining us from Santa Barbara. So we're on either sides of the country, as we usually are. And Kathe will talk to us a little bit about her experience with grant money and give us some guidance on where she's been able to find things. So let's bring Kathe on. Well, it just told me I can't bring Kathe on camera. Are you there, Kathe? Let me try again here. Okay, coming back in. Our friends. There you are.
Sorry.
Hello, that's okay. That's okay. Thank you for joining in. I have just worked you so hard the last couple of weeks, but you have so much. You have so much to say to help everyone. So thank you. I know I gave you a heads up because I know you like to do your homework, but we had so many really great questions about, is there still grant funding available? If there is, where do we go to find it? What are you seeing, and what advice do you give to people? So talk to us a little bit about grant funding.
Perfect. Okay, so well, first of all, like Kathe said, we all got the EIDL grants and the PPP, and we didn't have the magic crystal ball to know where we were going, and that we'd be still navigating all of this. So I think the first thing I'd want everyone to remember is that the grants are there for us. I mean, it's one of the the funds are available. The people that are dispersing them have to give them out, and it's for businesses to survive and actually thrive. So don't be afraid to jump into that water. It was actually my first time doing grants during COVID as well. So I feel kind of your pain in terms of being a little intimidated at first. And Kathe and I were actually talking about this earlier today, and she said, what should you do if you're feeling that way? That's a great use of your team. If you've got someone that's got, that grant writing brain, that they can articulate what you would do with the funds, or maybe it's someone in your bookkeeping department, maybe it's even a parent that could help you. I mean, all of those resources, we're all in this together. We say that every time, but so that's the first thing, is to look for them. They're available. There is red tape, and it is very time consuming. I think it took me a whole week to complete one grant application. I have 3 locations in Virginia. That's a lot of time.
So Kathe, can I just interject the question right there? So we know how busy everyone is right now. They have never been crazier in operating their business. So how would you think about the trade-off between, it's really time consuming to search out the grants and write the grants and try to get the money, and how would you weigh that off with, I've got to operate my company, but there's this possibility that I could get some help?
So the money's there for the taking if you follow all the rules and jump through the hoops. However, we want to come out as good, strong operators. So I would never drop the ball on my enrollment and my marketing, nor would I drop the ball on getting my staff back safely and trained up. So, unfortunately with grants, all of a sudden, they're due. And it's sort of hurry up and wait then. So, that was like burning the midnight oil, honestly. I mean, to me, that's just that extra oomph that we as entrepreneurs, we just kind of have to do that. So, that wasn't in my 40-hour work week. That was on the nights and weekends, and also with help. So, equal opportunity, one grant, think about one grant, maybe for $50,000. Lifetime value of one child starting at age infant or 2 at your program could be $50,000. Would it, time spent, value received, would it be smarter to work on your enrollment? If parents are ready and wanting to come back and enroll, I'd put my eggs in that basket, rather than grants. However, grants, if you're really, struggling, it's a great opportunity. So how do you feel about that?
Yeah, agree with you completely. So talk to us about where to start. Where do we go, and what are your suggestions for people that want to know if there's grant money they can access?
So as you've talked for months, the CARES grant was the federally funded money having to do with the coronavirus. So that's gotten filtered down into the state level and into the local level. For instance, for me, I happened to get an email in my Gmail account, of all things, not my Bright Beginnings account. And did I want to apply for safe spaces in my local area? Safe spaces is mostly for restaurants in our area. So the restaurants that had to be outside, having, 50% of the tables outside. I successfully applied for a safe spaces grant that I'm getting beautiful tents, forest green in color, and then absolutely amazing, very high-end picnic tables that are, different shapes that match my outdoor classroom kind of brand and motif. So that was free money that I got by taking the time and thinking outside of the box. It wasn't a childcare grant, but it was for anyone that wanted to be outside, because we know being outside with children and, restaurants, is safer. So that's the first thing, is check your emails, check your Gmails, and network. So that one was my local economic office out of my particular county. And then, of course, the CARES grant, a lot of times it'll be dispersed by your local resource and referral agency. My local resource and referral agency, I always have to have show and tell, gave me free, like 200 free hand-done masks. Just, got on a Zoom. They did, they actually offered free training for owners and directors. And the, PPE, the personal protection equipment. And they also gave us amazing, like, hardback books. I probably have 500 hardback books. And what am I doing with them? We're all about literature and early childhood. I'm giving them away on tours. We're promoting them to, families that need them. Maybe we'll do something for Thanksgiving with them. So don't just think it's money. Sometimes they're having extra things, items like masks or books that they can give out. one of our friends and colleagues was mentioning she got a lot of money for sanitizing, foggers and disinfecting equipment. So that's good. So we talked about CARES. We talked about our local resource and referral. Our local United Way was excellent helping us. I would remind you that if you've got several locations and they're located in, like, one's a city, one's a county, hit them both up. Or if you've got students coming to you that isn't the county that your business is located, but maybe another county, and you're serving another county, but you're not located there, it is worth an ask. And then, of course, anyone that you're accredited with, so NACI or any of the other accrediting agencies, they're going to want to help us out. And then, for instance, Childcare Aware. I was talking to one of our colleagues the other day, and she said, I only have 4 children enrolled that use Childcare Aware funds, but they gave me a ton of grant money. Because, again, all these agencies really, truly are in it with us and wanting to have safe spaces for children, because we all want to get families back to working and our country back to business. And then my local Chamber of Commerce was a really good resource. I happen to know our president, and when you've been in a community a really long time, utilize that networking and utilize those connections that you've got. And my gal just said, I'm going to keep my ears open for you on anything else, and knowing exactly what we could, how we could partner. We talked about partnering, in a couple of different ways for the holidays, giving gifts to my staff, for instance. Licensing actually was really helpful in the beginning for me, which is kind of funny. But they were caught like all the rest of us. What are we going to do? And so we closed for about 2 weeks in Virginia, and I called my licensing inspector's boss and said, I really want to keep up with the training. And she sent me a couple resources that would be free training while my staff were out. And also she referred me to the Department of Agriculture and the Forestry Department. They've got grants and they've got money to, add curriculum or, get other certifications for your staff. I had some staff do a green certification. They take some classes. It's free. You just really have to ask. It's, a year from now, probably not. But right now, let's take advantage and build up our programs and improve our quality. One that Rhonda Myers out of Michigan mentioned, and she's a rock star. We both agree. She worked with OSHA, and OSHA helped her with some grant. I think it was materials. It was the PPE materials. And then this one's a weird one, but try watching grants online. I tried to do it, and if I wanted to check into a certain grant, they were going to charge me. So maybe not that particular group, but watch what Kathe and I talked about earlier today is maybe set a timer for every, Thursday morning and just sort of scour the internet for grants for in your area and in neighboring towns as well.
So Kathe, is your number one thing? Let's give everyone one thing to act on tomorrow. Would that be it? Is it go to Google and do a search for what?
That you can get into, like, the Google, getting stuck in Google. That's a great one if you've got extra time. I would call my local Chamber of Commerce because they're filtering everything. Or your local county or city, what grants you have available for childcare or related to getting families back to work.
What our licensing agents know?
They know,
okay.
They know a lot.
Okay. So let's make a list of the 3 to 5 people to give a call. We might not get them tomorrow. It is Thanksgiving week. But let's make a list of the 3 to 5 people to give a call to the first of next week and just say, hey, keep me in mind. My program has some needs that if you see funding out there, we could really use the support. And you guys share with us what's working for you, what you've seen in your area, and we will share these places Kathe mentioned today, and we will also share your ideas. So Kathe, thank you again for joining me the past 3 weeks in a row. We have enjoyed this time with you guys in November. We really miss you. We hope you have a safe holiday. Don't give up yet. Let's keep being safe. We're weeks away from vaccines, and we're all going to be fine on the other side of this. So let's just keep pushing through. Let's take care of ourselves and each other, and we will continue to share information for you guys, and hope that you have a wonderful holiday, and take care.
Bye, everyone.
Bye,
Bye,
Kathe.
Kathe.